Hey, so today I'm going to tell you the story of why I decided to learn sign language. So let's get started. Hey y'all. Oh, a long time ago, maybe 1988, my daughter Lee, she had a difficulty hearing. So while she was growing up, I really never thought that she had a problem. I just thought she wasn't paying attention to me. I would say your name, Lee, L-E-I-G-H. Lee, 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 Lee. And she would always ignore me. She would just play and play. She would never pay attention to me, and I would scream her name. And then finally, she would turn around and she would look at me. So I didn't think about difficulty with hearing. So then Lee was in first grade, and her teacher noticed the same thing. She wasn't paying attention. She wasn't paying attention at all. So the teacher moved her from where her chair was in the back of the room to the front of the room, over onto the right side. She did that because the teacher noticed that Lee heard better from her left ear and not her right ear. So the teacher wanted Lee's good ear to be facing her so she could pay attention and she could understand what the teacher said. So she moved her up to the front. Guess what? Lee started to pay attention. Her grades got better and better. She really improved. So the teacher told me, you know what? I think she might have a hearing problem. I said, well, okay. So now I have to set up an appointment with a doctor, but there's a delay, so I have to wait. So while I'm waiting, I'm thinking, what if Lee's problem with her hearing, actually, she becomes deaf? How am I going to how will I communicate with my daughter? So I did a lot of research, and I found a continuing education class at a local college. And I thought, okay, I'll learn sign language. And while I learn sign language, I'll teach Lee. So what I learn, I'll teach her, and we can learn together. And then we can always communicate. So I signed up. I went to class. I learned a lot. And I caught on. I really got it. I developed really fast. And my signs became more casual, fluid. And the teacher noticed the same thing about me and the way I had caught on. Wait a minute, wait. Let's back up. Let's go somewhere else. When class started, it was very basic, like ABC 1, 2, 3, colors like blue and green. So it was easy to communicate. So I would learn these, and I would go home and I would teach them to Lee. And she learned fast. And then pretty soon, me and her were very fluid, talking to each other in sign language. So the teacher noticed that I developed really fast and really had a knack for sign language. And the teacher then approached me and said, the college is going to start an ITP program, which is an interpreter training program, and you really need to sign up. You really need to be an interpreter. So I thought about it. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever, fine. So I signed up for the classes. And they started that fall. So in the fall, I started going to class. I was like, wow, I'm in college. Then, I finally got an appointment set up with Dr. Lee. You had to go to St. Louis. I'm having a hard time figuring out the sign for St. Louis, Missouri. So the doctor did a bunch of tests, and he looked in her ear, and he said, this is interesting. This is really curious. Huh. So I can't think of the sign for tweezers. So I'm spelling it tweezer. You know, like, okay, I just made up the sign for it. So he took the tweezer and he went into her ear. And he peeled off some skin. There was some skin growing on the inside of her ear. And he peeled it off. And he showed me. And then Lee heard pop. And then she could hear just fine. So the skin was growing over the inside of her ear, and it was causing her hearing problem the whole time. And now she can hear just fine. I was really excited. And I was happy. But we still continued with our sign language. I continued with the ITP program at college. And I was in class for about 2 months. And the college came to me and said, we need interpreters really bad. Can you interpret in the afternoons, but stay in your classes in the mornings? I said, oh, I mean, I can, but I'm not very fluid. I'm really kind of basic. And they said, you know what, it's fine. It's fine. Because most of the students are oral. So be sure that you pronounce your words while you're signing. And they'll read your lips. It'll be fine. So while I'm in school, going to classes for sign language, for the ITP classes, in the mornings, the same time, I'm interpreting in the afternoon with the deaf students. And that's how I became an interpreter. And that was in Southern Illinois. And that's my story. Gosh, I haven't interpreted since maybe 15 years. I still have deaf friends that I hang out with. So, that's my story. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me.